When you reach the age of 60 and beyond, who will genuinely be there for you? When you are younger, the answer may seem straightforward: your family, your closest friends, the people you have known for a lifetime. But once you cross the threshold of 60, reality can begin to present itself differently. Life evolves, people become occupied, priorities change, and you might suddenly find that the network you always counted on may not be as steadfast as you once believed. In this video, we are going to explore 6 essential pillars that often become more dependable than family as you get older. This is not about pushing people away. It is about comprehending where true stability originates and ensuring you are not left in a vulnerable position when you need support the most. When you construct a strong foundation upon these 6 pillars, you acquire the security and independence that will see you through life's inevitable challenges. Stay with me until the end, because these 6 pillars may completely alter the way you think about support. And once you understand them, by the conclusion of this video, you will never feel powerless, alone, or unprepared again. Now let's get started. Pillar 1. Your financial stability. The most reliable support you will ever possess is not another person. It is your own financial independence. Money may not purchase happiness, but it certainly buys security, freedom, and tranquility of mind. The older you become, the more you understand that depending on family for financial assistance is not a strategy, it is a gamble. Your children have their own lives, their own financial obligations, and their own families to provide for. Even if they love you profoundly, they may not always be in a capacity to assist when you require it most. Think about Richard, a 72-year-old man who always presumed his children would intervene if he ever encountered financial hardship. He had supported them through college, lent them money when they were in need, and was always available when they called. But when an unforeseen medical problem depleted his savings, he turned to his children for help, only to discover that they were contending with their own mortgages, their own bills, and their own financial difficulties. Not because they did not care, but because life is unpredictable. That is why financial stability is one of the most robust pillars of support you can construct. It is not about being wealthy, it is about being prepared. It is about having a plan for emergencies, a consistent source of income that you can depend on, and a clear grasp of how to manage your money so that you never have to be reliant on anyone else to get by. If you are in your 60s or beyond, it is time to ask yourself, do I have enough saved to cover unexpected medical bills or home repairs? Is my retirement income secure? Have I minimized financial risks that could place me in a vulnerable position? If the answer is no, the time to take action is now. Learn how to budget wisely, avoid unnecessary debt, and invest in assets that will provide long-term stability. Because at the end of the day, your financial security is the one thing that will always stand by you, no matter what life presents. Pillar 2. Your physical health. There is one thing in life that no amount of love, money, or support from others can ever substitute: your health. After 60, your body becomes either your most powerful ally or your greatest impediment. The truth is, you can possess all the financial security in the world, but if your health declines, your freedom vanishes. And while your family may care deeply for you, they cannot exercise for you. They cannot consume nutritious foods for you, and they cannot halt the effects of aging on your behalf. That responsibility rests entirely with you. Far too many people neglect their health, assuming that when the time comes, someone will be there to look after them. But the reality is, even if your family loves you, they have their own lives. They may not possess the time, energy, or capacity to be your full-time caregiver. And depending on others to manage your well-being can leave you feeling powerless. That is why prioritizing your health now is one of the most critical investments you can make for your future. Take the story of Carl, a 68-year-old man who had always been active in his younger years, but let himself go after retiring. He assumed he had ample time to get back in shape, but before he knew it, his energy levels had dropped. His mobility had diminished, and simple tasks had become difficult. His children visited when they could, but they could not be there every day to assist him. Eventually, he realized that if he wanted to preserve his independence, he had to take command of his health. Not tomorrow, not next year, but right now. You do not have to train like a professional athlete, but small, consistent efforts make all the difference. Move your body every day, eat foods that nourish you instead of harm you, and take your medical checkups seriously. If you have been ignoring warning signs, aches that persist, difficulty walking, changes in your energy levels, it is time to stop dismissing them. Your future self will be grateful for every healthy choice you make today. Because at the end of the day, your strongest support system is not your children, your siblings, or your friends. It is your own ability to remain strong, active, and capable. And the more you prioritize your health now, the less you will need to rely on anyone else later. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment with the number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Now, let's move forward. Pillar 3. Your social circle. One of the greatest mistakes people make as they grow older is to isolate themselves. Perhaps it happens gradually. Friends relocate, loved ones pass away, and before you realize it, your social circle has dwindled to something smaller than you ever anticipated. The problem is, without strong friendships, loneliness begins to take hold, and loneliness, especially after 60, is dangerous. It does not just impact your emotions, it affects your physical health, your mental acuity, and even your lifespan. You might assume that your family will always be there to provide companionship, but here is the truth. Your children have their own lives. They have careers, families, and obligations that keep them occupied. They may love you deeply, but they cannot be your sole source of social interaction. That is why one of the most crucial pillars of support is your social network. The people who check in on you, who share a laugh with you, who bring energy and vitality into your life. These relationships are not a luxury. They are a necessity. Look at someone like Margaret, a 73-year-old woman who had always depended on her family for companionship. She had 2 sons, both of whom loved her dearly. But as the years passed, they became busy with their work and raising their own children. They still called, but the daily visits and weekend get-togethers became less frequent. Margaret started to feel lonely, waiting by the phone for calls that did not always arrive. Then, she decided to make a change. She began reconnecting with old friends, joined a local community group, and even took up new hobbies that introduced her to new people. Suddenly, her life was filled with conversations, shared laughter, and a renewed sense of purpose. She did not have to wait on her family to feel connected. She built that connection herself. Friendships, community groups, and even casual acquaintances offer you something priceless, a sense of belonging. Whether it is a neighbor you chat with, a book club you attend, or a group at your local community center, having people in your life outside of your family creates a foundation of emotional strength. And the more connections you build now, the more support you will have in the years ahead. So, ask yourself, who do you have in your life right now that brings you joy? If the answer is not immediately clear, it is time to expand your circle. Because at the end of the day, a strong social network is not just about having company. It is about having people who lift you up, remind you of your worth, and make every stage of life richer. Pillar 4. Your sense of purpose. One of the most overlooked sources of support in life is not another person. It is your own sense of purpose. After 60, many people begin to feel a shift. The roles that once provided life with meaning, being a parent, a professional, a caregiver, start to recede. Retirement arrives, children become independent, and the pace of life slows. And without a clear sense of direction, it is easy to begin feeling invisible, unneeded, or even lost. The truth is, no matter how much your family loves you, they cannot bestow purpose upon you. That is something you must construct for yourself. Having a reason to get out of bed in the morning. Whether it is a passion, a project, or a goal, keeps your mind sharp, your emotions steady, and your life fulfilling. It is what keeps you engaged with the world, instead of merely observing from the sidelines. Think about someone like George, a 70-year-old retired engineer. When he left his career, he was excited to finally relax. But after a few months, he started to feel restless, as if something was missing. His days felt empty. His kids visited when they could, but they had their own lives. That is when he decided to take action. He began volunteering at a local school, teaching young kids how to build things. Before long, he had a new reason to get up every morning, something that made him feel valued, useful, and engaged with life. Purpose does not have to originate from a job. It can be anything that makes you feel alive, learning something new, mentoring others, gardening, painting, traveling, or even just setting personal goals. It is about doing things that bring you joy and keep you mentally and emotionally active. If you have been feeling as though your best days are in the past, it is time to change that perspective. Your purpose is not something that vanishes as you age. It evolves. And the more you invest in finding meaning in your daily life, the less you will need to rely on others for your happiness. Because at the end of the day, the strongest support you can have is not someone holding your hand. It is the fire inside you that keeps you moving forward. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment with the number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Pillar 5. Your emotional resilience. Life has a way of testing you, regardless of your age. After 60, challenges do not cease. They simply change form. Friendships may fade, loved ones pass on, health issues can arise, and sometimes, life feels lonelier than it used to. The truth is, no matter how much support you have from others, The most dependable source of strength will always come from within. Your ability to adapt, to process emotions, and to find peace in difficult moments is what keeps you moving forward, even when circumstances do not unfold as you had hoped. Too many people depend on their family to be their primary emotional support system, believing that their children, siblings, or extended relatives will always be there to comfort them. But the reality is, everyone has their own battles to fight. They might not always have the time or the energy to be the source of emotional stability you need. That is why building emotional resilience is so crucial. It allows you to find strength within yourself instead of constantly seeking it from others. Take the story of Helen, a 75-year-old woman who lost her husband after 40 years of marriage. Initially, she leaned heavily on her children for emotional support. But over time, she realized that while they cared deeply, they had their own families and responsibilities to manage. She knew she could not expect them to fill the void she felt inside. Instead of letting grief overwhelm her, she focused on strengthening herself emotionally. She joined a support group, started journaling, and practiced daily gratitude. Over time, she discovered something powerful. She did not need someone else to fix her sadness. She possessed the strength to heal on her own. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing your feelings or pretending to be strong all the time. It is about acknowledging pain, processing it in a healthy manner, and developing coping mechanisms that allow you to navigate life's ups and downs with grace. It is about having outlets, whether it is writing, meditation, therapy, or simple self-reflection, that help you find peace within yourself, instead of depending on others to provide it. No matter what life throws at you, the ability to stand strong on your own will always be one of your greatest sources of support. The more you cultivate emotional resilience, the less you will feel dependent on others to make you feel whole. Because at the end of the day, the person who will always be with you through every hardship and every triumph is you. Pillar 6: Your ability to adapt. If there is one undeniable truth about life after 60, it is this: nothing remains the same. People change, circumstances shift, and the things you once relied on may no longer be as dependable as they used to be. The key to thriving in this stage of life is not holding on to the past. It is your ability to adapt. Those who struggle the most with aging are often the ones who resist change, who cling too tightly to what was instead of embracing what is. But those who learn to adjust, to stay open, and to welcome new possibilities, they find joy and fulfillment, no matter what life brings. Many people assume that once they reach a certain age, they are set in their ways. But that kind of thinking can be dangerous. It can prevent you from discovering new opportunities, meeting new people, and learning things that could enrich your life. Being adaptable is not just about accepting change. It is about actively seeking ways to grow with it. Look at someone like Frank, a 78-year-old man who had always relied on in-person friendships to stay connected. When many of his friends moved away or passed on, he initially felt lost. He thought, "I guess this is just how it is when you get older." But then, instead of resigning himself to loneliness, he decided to adapt. He learned how to use video calls to stay connected with distant family, joined an online discussion group about history, and even made a few new friends in the process. Instead of letting change defeat him, he allowed himself to grow with it. The people who thrive after 60 are not necessarily the ones with the most resources or the strongest support system. They are the ones who refuse to be stuck in their ways, who remain curious, and who find ways to adjust, no matter what life throws at them. If a door closes, they look for another. If a relationship changes, they find new ways to connect. If something is no longer working, they are willing to try something different. Your ability to adapt is one of the greatest pillars of support you will ever have. It allows you to navigate life with resilience, optimism, and confidence. And the more you embrace change instead of fearing it, the less you will feel like you are losing something, and the more you will realize that every stage of life offers something new to gain. If you're still here and finding these insights helpful, type 6 in the comments below to let me know you're watching. Your support helps me continue creating content that matters to you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Final thoughts. Reaching 60 and beyond is a stage of life that comes with both wisdom and challenges. And while family may always hold a special place in your heart, the reality is that the most reliable support you will ever have is not found in other people. It is found in the foundation you build for yourself. Your financial stability ensures that you never have to rely on someone else to get by. Your physical health determines whether you can maintain your freedom and independence. Your social circle keeps you connected, engaged, and emotionally fulfilled. Your sense of purpose gives your life meaning and direction, no matter your age. Your emotional resilience strengthens you against life's inevitable hardships. And your ability to adapt allows you to thrive, even when things do not go as planned. If you have these 6 pillars in place, you will never feel completely alone. You will never have to beg for support, feel helpless in difficult times, or wait for someone else to step in and save you. Because true stability does not come from hoping others will be there for you. It comes from knowing you are already prepared to stand strong, no matter what life brings your way. Thank you for joining us today. We would love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so do not hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.